So I've been working on the DB4 for the last month, ready to get it ready for Goodwood, which we're here at now. Let me just walk you around everything that we've done and show you why we've done it. So first of all, let's work on the front here. We cut these lines in symmetrical. Quite often on an Aston Martin they might be not quite right one side to the other, so we got all that lined up nicely. We'll also put this swage in here which should gently disappear as it goes down, so we've got all that matching both sides. That looks really good, pleased with that. Then we did the lines on the body here. We actually used a laser to line these in, so you can actually follow the line and it sweeps all the way around the back of the car in a nice even arc. So it looks really good now. We're really pleased with that. We put on a set of Turrino wire wheels to come to the show. They look amazing as always. With the grille here, so the grills on Aston Martins are traditionally a little bit tricky because they start to eat into the paint over time. So we've lined it up with a very, very small gap, so it's not actually touching the paintwork, and it allows it to expand and not damage the paint in any way. The door gaps on the door, these are always a little bit trickier. Again, on Aston Martin they like to open, when the door opens they tend to catch on the corner here, so we've fixed all that so it doesn't do that. It opens and closes nicely. Same gapped up the back. So the other interesting thing about this is often with Aston Martin doors, they use a piece of piano wire to get the arc or the arc and shape of the door to be correct, whereas we've actually lined it up to be right almost without the piano wire, so it's going to do a tiny bit of work to bring in this corner, but nothing too dramatic that's going to cause any problems to the customer in the future. So that looks really good. We had to replace this lower section of the quarter panel. Ed did some fabrication to get all that right for us and get the bumper alignment right. It was actually too high, so we had to lower it and get all that sorted. It did have a sunroof. That's all been repaired and replaced, as was original. There was an issue with the bar in the centre of it as well, but that's been corrected. That's been the proper arc of the roof has been put back in. Around the door gaps around here, this is an important line. This one here should follow all the way through onto the tailgate and then go soft around the back, which is quite tricky to do, but the guys have done that excellently, and that nicely lines up even when the tailgate's open and closed. Again, on Aston Martin, the tailgate's quite, being aluminium, is quite easy to bend and move around, so we tried to make it so that every time it closes in the right place. It's the small details that we tried to get absolutely perfect. So if I just show you inside the petrol flap here, where we've put this in, we've put new pop rivets in and everything, so that when the car's painted it doesn't look like it's got a thick film of paint over many years. It doesn't look like it's been painted 20 odd times. They're fresh new pop rivets, so it looks nice and clean like it would when it left the factory. And that's the same for all the apertures that should have had pop rivets on. We've done that too as well. And then finally underneath, under all the arches, we've put an anti-stone chip coating and then done it satin black as the customer requested, and then do the same satin black on the inside as well, so it looks nice and clean and fresh, ready for build up, and then even when the carpets are lifted it looks nice and clean for the customer as well. But there we go, pretty nice example. We've got some good comments from the show as well, so that's a really good, pleasing job.